Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Hit the Pick NASCAR show. Hope you enjoyed that intro. You know, Tom, if I was doing mushrooms, I could watch that for about an hour. I really could. It's great to be here. This is our inaugural show. My name is Scott the Steamroller Steehn. I am your host for the show, and I've got one of the biggest NASCAR experts around. No pressure, buddy. You might know him as WryCape if you're a gamer, and if you're a sports bettor, you know him as Tom Macrina, the pride of Philadelphia. It's Tom Macrina. What's up, my friend?
Not too much. Glad to have NASCAR back. I'm excited for this weekend. Had a rough Daytona, but we weren't recording then, so we'll hope for a better Atlanta.
That's right. As far as everybody knows, your slate is clean. Very nicely done. And yeah, as you mentioned, we are headed to Atlanta this week to check out the Ambetter Health 400. But before we get into all that, hey, why don't you guys get over there to hitthepick.com and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and then hit the website, pick up your free $100 in site credit, kind of an intro deal that we've been running for a few months. We're going to be pulling the plug on that pretty soon. So make sure you get over there and check that out. Check out Hit the Pick on all your favorite socials and one of the most engaging and fun Discord channels around. It is Hit the Pick. So if you're a Discord person, make sure you get over there and get involved with that. Tom, we were supposed to have another expert here, and he's stuck in traffic, as so often happens on the East Coast. So it's just going to be you and me for the initial episode here today. You okay with that?
Yeah, Matt should be on majority of the shows. Anybody who watched NASCAR Report knows who he is. He should be on next week. We'll have guests on each week too, as
That's
well.
Right. That's right.
I don't know if anybody follows my NASCAR. I'm not a big super speedway guy, at least not betting wise. It's great for the eyes, though.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting track. It's actually in Hampton, Georgia, of course, and it's just a little bit over a mile and a half, 1.54 miles. They're going. They call it the 400. They're going to run 260 laps. So, Tom, I've got a question. I live here, of course, in Kansas City. We have a track here on the Kansas side. It's the it's one of those cookie cutter mile and a halves like they have in Chicago, like they have in Texas. So tell me, this is a mile and a half track too, but it's a lot faster, man. They call it like the super speedway. So tell me, what makes this faster than all the cookie cutters?
All right. So they reconfigured this track in 2021, I think. Their goal was to make this super speedway style racing. How it's different from Daytona and Talladega. It's a lot smaller, as you said. It's intermediate size, 1.5 miles. The banking's not the same. It's a lot less banking. Which is weird about this track is that Atlanta, the middle groove is going to be the groove that you want to be in.
Well, we kind of saw a little bit of that last year as he had that unbelievable three-way finish where Kyle Busch actually was able to hold the middle all the way through the finish. He didn't get the win, but they had it was the closest three-way finish in NASCAR history, right?
It was a beauty.
Yeah, Daniel Suarez got the victory there. To the naked eye, it looked like that 12 car of Ryan Blaney had it, but upon further review, hold all tickets, as they say at the racetrack, as the horse track. And it was Daniel Suarez that picked up the win. So, yeah, a lot of fun. Looking for another one here today. So, any initial thoughts before we kick it all off here?
Yeah, I mean, I'd go light here. I guess Daytona and Talladega, you're kind of looking for long shots. At this track, not so much. This is a driver's track. I'm looking for guys who have success here. Usually I'm looking for momentum guys. Obviously, we only had one race, so there's not much momentum to be had.
And do you want to recap last week's race, exactly what happened and who won and how that race went down, just for anybody that didn't get a chance to see it?
Sure. So, yeah, it was Daytona 500. William Byron was the winner. I mean, it was a great race. You get down to about 20 laps and everybody gets aggressive. You see a lot of yellow flags, accidents. Actually, my card looked good till about 12 laps left.
And who did you have?
I had Kyle Busch. I forget who else I had. Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric was leading for a while.
And I did see that. I did watch some of the race when he was leading. So
yeah, so I know Gregson too. He was right up there at one point too. So a lot of my guys were in the mix at the end until the big one came and pretty much wiped all my guys out. And that's what happens at super speedways. This is the last one for a while. Once we get into the road courses, intermediate, short tracks, they're more predictable. They'll be easier to find bets we like.
right, and just to recap for everybody, there's no restrictor plates in this one, right? The only time they run those is the 4 races they run at Daytona and Talladega, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so you can get out there and just rip it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and they do go extremely fast. I'm looking forward to it. Breaks down into 3 stages. First stage is 60 laps. Second stage is 100, and the third stage is 100 laps as well. Green flag drops at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. I assume they have lights there, Tom.
Yeah, I think Atlanta does.
It's going to get a little sketchy there if it goes longer than 3 hours, because I think sundown's what, in the 6:15, 6:30 range there.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Okay. I mean, I'm always I don't think we're expecting any weather, but I'm always about. I thought it was great that Daytona was rain delayed. I like those night races.
Yeah, I do like those as well. That's a lot of fun there. So, all right. So we also have the trucks running. We also have the Xfinity series running, and it's kind of unusual that they are all running at the same track. Sometimes they like to split the trucks off for different places and things like that. So the trucks and the Xfinity cars are running tomorrow. Trucks run first, of course, in the morning, Xfinity in the afternoon, and then the big boys will be bringing it home there, like we said, at 3:00 in the afternoon on Sunday. So for starters,
one thing about that, trucks, this is the only time they run here. Xfinity and Cup, they'll be back again.
Okay, I got you. So they're kind of the dual race there for the top 2 series, and then the trucks just run one time. The trucks run a lot of unusual places, don't they?
They do. Yeah, they do a bunch of races that you don't see in the other circuits.
Actually, the first NASCAR race I ever saw, they have a motorsports park in Topeka that's drag racing and a road course, and the trucks ran there one year. I want to say this was probably back in the mid '90s. We went out there and watched the trucks run at that road course, and it was a lot of fun. It was very cool. So I highly recommend. They're not. If you've never seen a truck race, it's not the kind of trucks you're thinking of. They look a lot like a regular stock car, and they run really well. But yeah, a lot of fun to watch. So let's start with that. You want to talk about who you got? Anybody that you're looking at in the truck series there? Any chance to make a little bit of folded money before you head into the big races?
Yeah, so the trucks, unfortunately, there are no lines out right now because they just ran their qualifying, but they'll be open for a while. There are actually 2 guys I really like. The one guy is Bailey Curry. I don't know if many people know him. He is actually famous. Last year at this race, he lost his roof. So
I'm sorry, what now?
He lost his roof.
He lost his roof?
Correct.
Where did it go?
On the track. But yes, it came off of the truck. And
was it knocked off, or it just flew off like a?
I'd have to watch it again, but yeah, it was hanging there.
Was he driving the JetBlue car? the Spirit Airlines car. Okay, so he had an instant sunroof. That's interesting. Yeah. I'm assuming he did not win, because that seems like it would be a detriment to your aero package.
He did not win. I was actually on him last year, but this is a good style of track for him. He's an up and comer. I just think he's going to do well this week. The other guy I like in trucks is Corey Haim. I mean, he's
the actor.
No.
Okay.
The driver.
Not one of the Coreys. There's Corey Feldman and Corey.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Not that guy. Yeah, okay, good.
I don't know. Maybe they're related. But yeah, his first career truck series win was here. In 3 races, he has 2 top 5s. First in 2022, third in 2024. He's just behind Kyle Busch, Ty McJeski, so he could have won that one. 2 top 10s. He's led 22 laps, all in 2022. Average finish of 11.3. He does have a DNF in 2023, which actually brings that down. But yeah, this guy drives great. He actually, last week at Daytona, Parker Kligerman won. He got disqualified, and Corey Heim was the winner after that because he came in second. So, yeah, I'll be talking about Corey Heim a lot.
And he was disqualified post race, some sort of shenanigans going on there.
Yeah, I think his rear bumper was too low.
Can't have it. Can't have it. Cheaters never prosper unless they get away with it. Then they probably prosper a lot. So, all right, very good. And we don't know what kind of odds we've got on them right now. What would be your guess? It sounds like Corey does pretty well. Probably you're going to get what 300-400 plus 300-400 with him.
Yeah. So I guess we luck out because Kyle Busch is in this race. I probably should have looked at how they qualified, but yeah, because Kyle Busch is in this race, you get value on other drivers. So if Kyle Busch wasn't here, I think that we get like a plus 250, something like that.
Kyle Busch qualified ninth, by the way.
What's that?
Kyle Busch qualified ninth. Corey Heim qualified 19th.
All right. So Kyle Busch should stay around where he's at. I mean, if you can find Corey Heim 6, 7, 8 to 1, I'd go with that. Bailey Curry's a long shot. I'd maybe look for him top 5, maybe in a head-to-head.
Who are you looking for there?
Yeah,
Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey Curry.
Qualified 30th, my friend.
There we go. So you'll get a great price on that top 5.
Not a great run for him now. And I see Matt Crafton is still racing trucks. One of the few names I actually know. He's been racing trucks since what, the 80s?
Yeah, early 90s. He might have been like an 87, 88, 89.
All right, I was trying to be facetious, and unfortunately, it looks like I may have actually been accurate. So, yeah, he's been doing it a minute.
He's not a bad one to bet. I don't know that I'd bet him to win, but top 5, he's usually in the mix with these things. Yeah, as you say, he definitely has the experience.
And I see a Frankie Muniz. It's not the guy from Malcolm in the Middle, is it?
That is the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
Is it really?
It sure is.
So it's not the Corey Heim, but it is the Frankie Muniz.
That's
Malcolm. Is he any good?
He was in the top 10 last week at Daytona. Okay. This is his first full-time season. He was decent in the ARCA series, which is the lower series 2 trucks.
That's the one where they race old cup cars, right?
Yeah, they're I guess you could say that. Yeah.
I know they used to have like a whole weekend at Kansas when they first opened, and they would run like ARCA and maybe like Indy Lights on Saturday, and then they'd run the cup race on Sunday or whatever. And so yeah, I've seen a fair share of ARCA races. For somebody that's not a big race fan, I've seen a lot of ARCA races, and that's
well, usually they're brutal to watch.
It's not,
you like a lot of accidents.
You see a lot of disparity too. You see some good teams, and then you see some guys that look like they just brought their family sedan in, see if they could make some laps. So
yeah, all those guys are trying to get up to the truck series.
Right, exactly right. Now, does Matt Crafton run anywhere else? Does he run in? I know he doesn't run Cup, right? Does he run Xfinity?
He doesn't run Xfinity either. I mean, I'm sure he does like some side like dirt races or modified stuff like that. But yeah, he's just been truck series he's the OG.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he's the oldest of OG. All right, very good. Anybody else in the trucks you want to talk about, or we want to move on to Xfinity?
That's about it. I do like this Giovanni Rigaro.
Right.
Chandler Smith looks all right, but I'm not gonna go too heavy on this.
So
trucks are hard to control in super speedways.
So let's talk about this. I know a lot of tracks qualifying matters. It's hard to pass. Atlanta, not really one of those tracks. Does qualifying matter as much as it does in some other places?
Yeah, you want to have. All right, so at other super speedways, you're going to have room to move, like as we saw at Daytona, 3 wide, 4 wide at some points. It's not as easy to do that at Atlanta. So track position is going to be important.
So all 3 grooves are good, but that's all there is. You can't go 4 and 5 wide like you can at some of the super speedways. The super speedways, the 2.5ers, right?
Exactly, and because of the reconfiguration, we're starting to see this track have character, as you would say.
Very good. I like character. That's a good thing. So I'll recap here the top 5 qualifiers. It's Connor Mozak, Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Raja Carruth, and Jack Wood are your first 5. Anybody have your interest there?
Yeah, I'd throw a little something on Carruth.
Okay. Raja Carruth driving the 71 car there, or the 71 truck rather, at Chevy. Very nice.
Yep, Hendrick.
All right. That's a Hendricks as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very solid. Let's talk about Xfinity, man. Xfinity races on Saturday afternoon, and they are qualifying as we speak, correct?
They are. Yeah, I think it started at 5:30. So this one, Austin Hill is the best driver here by a lot. He pretty much dominates. In 6 races, he has 4 wins, 5 top 5s. He's been top 10 all 6. He's led 2. What's that?
I said, good Lord.
Yeah, he's that good. His average finish is 3.
That's some serious racing right there. And do you have a price on him?
My guess is his price is going to be unbettable. Before qualifying, he was 3-1, which was fine to take. I feel like he's going to qualify well, and then that goes down to plus 150, plus 200, which I kind of think he wins, but it's tough to take that price.
I was trying to find some odds on him. I'm over on DraftKings, and I've got Xfinity futures, but I don't have any race by race numbers there. So if you've got anything in front of you, and you're saying we might not see those till after qualifying, right?
Yeah, we probably won't see him till, I don't know, 8:00 tonight.
Okay,
but they'll be up. Yeah, I post all my plays into Discord. I'll have plays for trucks. I'll have plays for Xfinity posted. So yeah, go to Discord, check that out.
Okay. We do have cup odds up. So other than the prohibitive favorite there, and what's the number you would not bet him at? What's your cutoff?
Ryan Blaney.
No. The Xfinity cat that you were talking about.
Oh, Austin Hill. I mean, if you could get a plus 250, that's fine.
Okay.
Obviously, you want to stick close to the 300. Once you start getting down to the 2 plus 175, plus 150, I think you got to stay away from it. Maybe you can find a parlay piece for him with something that's going on tomorrow.
There's a little sweetener there.
Yeah, but in NASCAR odds, plus 150, plus 200 there's not much value in that.
Yeah, because even if you've got the best car, everything has to go right for you to win the race. You can't get stuck in the pits when the yellow comes out. You can't get speeding, or can't get caught up in the wash of some idiots getting together in front of you. A lot of things can go wrong. It's often the case that the guy with the best car does not win the race. Correct?
That is correct. Last week, the guy with the best car was Joey Logano, and I kind of feel like he caused the accident to get him out of the race, but he did not win the race.
There you go. And is Austin Hill, is he close to a cup ride?
I thought he was going to be in one a while ago. He's an RCR guy, Richard Childress Racing, which Kyle Busch is the number one, and then Austin Dillon is the number two. They only have two cars. Austin Dillon is Richard Childress's grandson. So,
Nepo baby, I'm a Nepo grandbaby.
I've actually spoken with Austin Hill's dad, Brian Hill, about this. Yeah, I'm not going to say we're buddies, but yeah, we met, had a couple of drinks.
So explain to me and the audience how that works. He's under contract to Richard Childress. Can another team make him an offer, or is he under contract to race whatever Childress tells him to race for the length of that contract?
That is a good question. I think RCR moves him where they want him to be at. He fast tracked to the Xfinity Series.
So he's still pretty young, you're saying?
Yeah, okay. He's young. He's got time. I think he's better than Austin Dillon. He should probably be in that 3 car. But
and something I just found out last week before Daytona. What happened to the drivers? Well, first of all, what happened to Stewart-Haas, and then what happened to the drivers that were under contract to them? Where'd they go?
All right, Stewart-Haas just decided to close the doors. Haas now has a 1-car team that Cole Custer drives. I think Cole Custer's related to Haas in some way.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how, but they're relatives. The other 3 guys, Noah Gragson went to Front Row Motorsports. Ryan Preece went to RFK. And then the 4th driver was Josh Berry. He is in the 21 now. It's the Wood brothers.
Okay.
So yeah, they all have a job. Those cars went everywhere. RFK took one, 2311, and then Trackhouse has one. So there's 2 cars that split up, and then the Haas has one.
Stewart spending all his time on the drag team now.
Yeah, that is really, that's what it is.
Yeah, I saw that. All right, very good. Anything else you want to talk about with the Xfinity before we move on to the big boys?
That's it.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about this race here in hot Atlanta. There, the Am Health 400. You know what Am Health is?
Or
Ambetter. I'm sorry, Ambetter.
I guess it's insurance, but no, I do not know.
It is. It's health insurance. There you go. Very good. It's like when they said, "Do you want insurance?" Like, I'm better now. I'm better. So you forgot what it was like to have me host the show with you on it, didn't you? How far afield we went.
Good. I love it.
I got to reel him back in, buddy. All right, so we got a couple of co-favorites here in the Ambetter Health 400, and that is Ryan Blaney and then Joey Logano that you talked about last time. Those guys are both plus 850. So that gives you a little bit of an idea about what the favorites are like. So the good news about betting NASCAR, if you do hit one, it's going to be a nice payday. Good news is you don't hit a ton of them, but you need to hit one every 2 months, basically, to be profitable. Every 8 races, if you're taking the favorite. So there is a path to some money there, absolutely, especially if you're a guy like Tom who pays attention and knows each of these tracks and the drivers intimately. And can formulate good opinions. And if you're not, that's why you should be watching this show. So there you go. All right, buddy. Who do you like?
All right. So I actually love both, all 3 of the Penske guys, to be honest with you. So Ryan Blaney, I'm on. I understand he's a favorite. I usually stay away from the favorite and the pole winner and whoever won last week.
Okay.
Just, no reason other than superstition, I guess. Just would I be kept away.
That's fair.
So Ryan Blaney, he used to own this Atlanta track. And now he's even better at Atlanta. He won in March of 2021, passed Kyle Larson with 8 laps remaining. Larson led 269 of the 325 laps there. This was before the configuration. So he's 5 top 5s in 13 races, 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s. His driver rating It's a 17.7 average before the reconfiguration. After it's even better, 9.7 across the 3 races on the new layout. So his career average finish is really strong at Atlanta.
Well, and sometimes those can be a little misleading because, like we talked about before, if you get knocked out or if you have some kind of, cut a tire or have an engine problem that's unforeseen and you finish in the 30s, it's really going to distort that average because there's such a small number of races. So if you're looking at something where the average is like that, make sure you look at all the finishes because if he's 9 and change over all races, if he had a bad start or had some unforeseen circumstances, his finishes could be, top 5 or something like that, right?
Yeah, and especially with this type of racing, early crash, you come in 33rd,
Right,
you're kind of screwed with the average finish.
right,
But
exactly.
yeah, so that's another thing. We always want to look for drivers who could stay clean. We want our drivers to see the end of the race. If
So
you're on the lead, if you're on the lead lap at the end of the race, you have a chance to win.
stay away from Recce Spinhouse is what you're saying.
Yeah, I was actually going to bet on him this week.
Were you really?
Yeah.
All right. All right, very good. So you do like Blaney, even though you say you don't usually like to bet the favorite. You like Blaney here in this spot.
Correct, I do. Yep,
Okay.
850.
It's a good price. You can get
the thing is that the Penske cars can qualify well, so it's tough to know if you want to take them before qualifying or after qualifying. So you may get a better number. I don't think you're going to get a worse number. So you could probably wait on this till after qualifying.
So let's say, just for sake of argument, let's say maybe they had a crash in practice. They have to qualify a backup car, something like that, or for some reason they had to go to the back of the line. Will we see the odds on a Blaney go from plus 50 to plus 1100, something like that? Will you see any kind of dramatic movement in those odds, or are they pretty much fixed?
Yeah, if we see a 10-1, I'd be surprised. But drivers get pushed to the back all the time, and that doesn't really move the number too much. You're not getting a better number because the guy qualified 6th and then he had a penalty and moved back to the end.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to know. So it won't really affect
the odds are going to go to how you qualify, not where you're actually starting on the grid.
Now, does it affect your mentality as far as making a bet, knowing that the guy has to come from the behind and avoid all the shenanigans there that happen towards the back of the pack with all these guys that have no shot of winning? Does it affect your mindset? Are you less likely to take somebody that's moved back to the back, or do you not care? Good driver's a good driver.
Yep, I actually am. It depends on the track, but I'm more likely to take somebody who's got pushed to the back. It allows you to learn how to get through the field. So if your guy, you're starting 28th, let's see how you get through the field. It's good for live betting opportunities too.
Oh,
since they're starting in the back, when the race starts, that number is going to change, and you're going to get longer odds for it. And if you notice that he's running through Denny Hamlin's a great one at that. Truex used to be too.
Right. All right. Anybody else you want to talk about before we just kind of touch on some props here?
Yep. So the other Penske guy I like is Cindric. Let me see what he's at. 13-1 to win this. I was on him last week, as we mentioned. Since the 2022 reconfiguration, he has been good at Atlanta's super speedway style. He has 2 top 5 finishes. He was dominant in the 2024 playoff race, led 92 laps. This is his type of racetrack. I think all the Penske guys are going to help each other out. It's what they do. They push each other. So I like Austin Cindric.
All right. And Austin Cindric drives a Penske's are all Fords. I mean, are all
Yeah, they're all
Chevys?
Ford.
All Fords. Okay.
Yeah, he's the number 2 Ford car.
All right.
Or
So
number, he's actually number 2, not the second best.
are you looking at any manufacturer props, or what do you got? What do you got prop wise?
I kind of was, and then I decided against it. I'm actually hoping that Chevy qualifies well, and then we get a better number of Ford, and then I'll take it. But this has actually been a good track for the Hendrick team. Trackhouse is also good here. They're both Chevys, so I'm staying away from the manufacturer.
Okay. All right. What props? What props do you have cooked up? You got some. You got some stuff.
Not so much props, but I got more guys I like. Daniel Suarez. He's for Trackhouse. He actually won this race last year.
Right.
All right. So before this track got reconfigured, in 8 races, he had 0 wins, 0 top 5s, 2 top 10s. His best finish was 7th. Then we go to the post reconfiguration, and this guy's been amazing. So in 6 races, he has 1 win, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s. His average finish is 6.3. He's led 31 laps. Yeah, he won last year. 3rd closest finish in Cup Series history. His worst finish was 23rd in 2023. But last September, when they raced here for the playoff race, he came in 2nd. He could have swept this race, actually. I like Daniel Suarez any way you could get Daniel Suarez. I think his price is good. I don't think he's going to qualify that great. Probably mid-pack, maybe even worse. So this number can get down. But anyway, you can take Suarez.
Plus 2,500, by the way, to win, plus 700 top 3, plus 320 top 5. So.
Yeah, so all placements. Maybe even look at a top Chevy. See what that is. Yeah, 10-1 for top Chevy. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good bet too.
Okay. All right. Very good. Yeah, that's yeah, and kind of the manufacturer props are kind of fun because it narrows the field and narrows the number of drivers that you have to beat. Like if you wanted to take Austin Cindric at plus 450, he's got to beat Logano and he's got to beat Ryan Blaney, but he doesn't have to beat the rest of the pack, basically. So you could definitely create some value there if like you said, you stay away from manufacturer props on this particular track, but there is sometimes some pretty good value there. So what else?
All right. I do like his teammate too, Ross Chastain. He's been every year at this track, he's been getting better. Obviously Suarez has a better price. I actually like him better, but I don't hate on Chastain, especially in head-to-heads. I think he's going to be good for that. I like Alex Bowman from the Hendrick camp. He has only 1 top 5. Top 10s, he only has 5. His average start is 14.4. So he's going to qualify well. What I like about him is he stays clean in this type of race. He does have 3 crashes here. Actually, none of them were his fault, really. I just like the price here. I think it's a great price. I think we have to get it before qualifying because the Hendrick camp is going to most likely qualify well.
Okay. Well, the good news is if those races are not your fault, the other guy's insurance has to pay. So that's very handy. Make sure you exchange information there in the infield. Okay. What other props?
I just got one more. I can't leave Toyota out. I have to have some Toyota. I actually really don't like much Toyota this week. This isn't the kind of track for them. There are actually a few guys that I am fading that you might be surprised about. Let me pull them up right here.
Sounds like you'd be surprised too as soon as you get your list.
I'm just fading them because they're not good at this track.
Okay.
Those guys are Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin. Who I
Okay.
do like is John Hunter Nemechek, top Toyota. You could get him 25-1. As I said, I'm not a big fan of the Toyotas. Actually, the only Toyota I'm worried about here is Ty Gibbs, and you could get him for plus 850. So if you take both of those drivers, you could one hits, you make profit regardless. But all the Toyota guys, stay away from the top guys.
Okay, very good. Very very solid advice there. You said Larson. Larson drives a Chevy though, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. But you want to avoid him as well.
Yeah. If you find any, actually, there was a head-to-head I liked that we faded him. We just pull it up right here.
I got Daniel Suarez and Kyle Larson.
Yeah, perfect. Yep, Suarez minus 120.
Yeah, I like that. So that's okay. So can you explain that one to me? Because if you look at their odds, Kyle Larson is plus 1,100, and like we talked with Suarez, he's plus 2,500, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would the odds be worse on Suarez than they are for Larson? I mean, why wouldn't they be a bigger disparity there? Larson's minus 110, Suarez is the favorite there. He's minus 120. Right. So why is that?
That is a good question. I don't know. Maybe that should make me scratch my head. But what I do know is that this is a really good track for Suarez. Okay. Larson's not good at the super speedways. But yeah, that is weird that they're like that.
Is there any value there? Is there as much value laying 120 with Suarez over a guy who's probably arguably a better driver?
Arguably the best driver in the world.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you thought Larson was the best stock car driver out there.
Yeah, he certainly is. Okay. This isn't the type of track for him. Super speedways, he gets in trouble.
See, that's the kind of nugget people are going to start watching this show for, the stuff like that, because they're going to see that and they're going to like, well, Kyle Larson, best driver in the world, I'll take him, easy money. But then you hear and like, well, if you look at his record at these track, not great. So, okay. Anything else?
Now I feel like Kyle Larson's going to win.
Lock it up. 11-1, easy money right there. Kyle Larson. I've heard he's a big fan of the show. So as we've seen in the past, anytime I do a show and rip somebody, they inevitably go out there and have the performance of their life. So a lot of major leaguers, a lot of NFL players listen to me, and I wouldn't have believed it because we get like 200 views tops, but still the proportion of the actual athletes that listen is huge. You can tell they're going out there just to prove me wrong. So we'll keep that tradition alive here as we cross over into NASCAR. I know when we have Matt on, you guys are going to talk a little more fantasy. Do you have any fantasy stuff that you want to lay out there today before we get out of here?
Yeah, so we do a couple one and dones together.
What does that mean for us neophytes? What is a one and done?
So you get one driver every week. Once you use him, he's done. Points go by how they're scored in NASCAR. So if you get the win, you're getting a
lot of points.
Yeah, right. You get your stage points. So you're rooting for a bunch of things with this one driver. It's pretty cool. We've been doing it for a few years. Right. Since it's a super speedway, last week I took Martin Truex, so it was a throwaway for me.
Right. He's running a limited schedule, right? He's not running the full schedule.
Yeah, correct. He's a part-timer now.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with Daniel Suarez this week. There aren't really many other places that I'm gonna want to use him. I mean, I hyped him up so much that he'll probably do me dirty. But
now, do they race in Mexico this year?
They do.
So you might want to save Suarez for that. Isn't he? He's from Mexico.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Now you make me think.
Okay. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't. That's the last thing I wanted to do. Last thing I wanted to do is make you think.
If I don't go with Suarez, I'm doing another throwaway, and then I'll start getting serious about it next week when we go to COTA.
All right. Very good. Any final thoughts?
That's it.
Okay.
Let's catch some tickets.
All right. Once again, we're going to do this every week. It's going to be at this time, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central Time, 2:30 Pacific. So yeah, make sure that you tune in and ask questions in real time. We're going to have at least one expert, and most weeks we're going to have two. So if you have any questions, or any matchups, or anything that you're looking at, Tom will be happy to answer those questions for you. I'll be happy to answer them. They just won't be good answers. But I'm as anyone who knows me can attest, I'm happy to give my opinion on a variety of subjects, whether I know anything about them or not. So I'd be happy to weigh in if you ask me a question, but you might want to wait for Tom's answer. That's all I'm saying. So, of course, make sure you check us out over there at hitthepick.com. You can catch us at our YouTube channel, which is oddly enough, Hit the Pick at YouTube. And Tom, where can they catch you on socials? I'm going to guess at WryCape. Call me a psychic.
That's correct. Yep, I'm at WryCape on all social media. Yeah, make sure you get into Discord. I post all my plays. We all do. We put a ton of free plays in there.
Tom is very active in the Discord, and it is it's a rambunctious place to be. If you have thin skin or don't like cursing, maybe you want to stick to like the YouTube channel. But if you like to wade in there, and people are posting plays all the time, so if you find somebody that's good, that's hot, and you want to ride them, it's a great place to pick up free tips. And they are very knowledgeable. It's a very knowledgeable channel. And Tom rides herd over him pretty well. He has to give him some tough love sometime.
That's right.
Tom, you got a bunch of kids. You're used to it. You know how to do
exactly.
it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, and of course, you can catch me on most socials over at Steehn Roller. I'm on X, Threads, Blue Sky, the Tiki Talk. We should have Tom. You should be excited about this. We're going to have a new Big Ballin' on a Budget come out later tonight or early Saturday morning. It's a fun little project that my son and I, where we look at my son and I do. We look at the cheapest ticket prices and put together a fun little quickie. So make sure you check that out as well.
I love it.
It's we have a blast doing it, and it's a chance for my son to show off his editing skills and me to show off my writing. So it's always a good time. Any final thoughts, Tom?
I think we're good. Happy race day.
Have you checked the weather? Is there going to be any? Have you seen any weather coming? Have you looked at the forecast? I know we had some rain here in the Midwest. It's moving that way.
Yeah, last I looked, everything was good. But it's NASCAR, so they like the rain likes to come wherever NASCAR is.
Yep. That's the thing about being in the South in the spring is you're probably going to have warmer weather than anywhere else, but you're definitely going to have a chance of some unsettled and some showers and things like that. So, hey guys, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it. And make sure you tell your friends, put it out there. If you got some buddies that like to participate in NASCAR wagering, make sure you tell them to check out the show. Of course, it's, like I said, it's live every Friday afternoon, but you can catch it on the YouTube channel on the replay though, over there at Hit the Pick on the YouTube channel. So for myself and for Mr. Tom Macrina, we really appreciate you guys stopping by and joining us for this initial show. I'm looking forward to a fun season. Tom, how many weeks do we have? 34 more?
36, I think. Well,
34, we 34 after this, right?
Right. Yep.
So yeah, that's between an MSL playing soccer in the minus 10 degree wind chill the other night and NASCAR racing from February to November, basically, right? Is it when do they wrap up there in Miami?
Yeah, right before it's not Miami anymore now. It's Phoenix.
They're
usually done the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Jesus. All right. Strap in, guys. It's going to be a long season, so pace yourselves. Don't be playing drinking games here early in the season. Just you got to stretch. You got to, if you're going to do a shot every time somebody wipes out or somebody blows a tire, pace yourself. That's all I'm saying. All right. Have a good week. Good luck on all your plays, not just NASCAR, but anything else that you may be betting on. Tom and I do daily videos, as most of the guys over there at Hit the Pick do as well. So if you bet other sports, make sure you check that out. Got a lot of NBA stuff, a lot of hockey stuff, and a lot of college basketball. So check those out as well as yeah, we'll be keep putting those up here as the seasons come to an end. So you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the race. Enjoy some nice warmer weather. For those of you that have been in the deep freeze, you're going to get a little respite from that. So enjoy it. And you know what? Win, lose, or draw with these picks. We'll be back next week to talk all about it on the Hit the Pick NASCAR show. Take care, everybody.
That's right.